You roll a $240 cart out of Costco, use your new grocery card, and expect the big grocery multiplier. Then the statement posts at the card's ordinary rate. Nothing is wrong with the food in your cart. The problem is that your card may not see Costco as a grocery store. That is the trap. You buy food at Kroger, Target, Costco, and through a delivery app. In your budget, all 4 purchases are groceries. In a rewards program, they can be 4 different categories. Before choosing a grocery card, you need to answer 3 questions. Where do you actually shop? How does each transaction post? And what happens after a rewards cap or annual fee enters the math? Start with the rule most people skip. Your card usually rewards the merchant category attached to the transaction, not the items inside your cart. American Express explains that merchants are assigned codes based on what they primarily sell. If the merchant code is not eligible, the purchase does not earn the extra reward. A gallon of milk does not force a transaction to become a supermarket purchase. Neither does a cart full of vegetables. That is why a traditional supermarket and the grocery aisle inside a superstore can behave differently. American Express says its U.S. supermarket category does not include superstores or warehouse clubs. Capital One also says its Savor grocery category excludes superstores such as Walmart and Target. This is not a reason to avoid those cards. It is a reason to stop calling all food spending one category. Take the last 90 days of transactions and build 4 buckets: supermarkets, superstores, warehouse clubs, and delivery or third-party checkout. Do not sort by what you bought. Sort by the merchant that appears on the posted transaction. Now mark the reward you actually received. If a transaction earned the expected bonus 3 times in a row, that is useful evidence for your wallet. It is not a promise that every location, app, or future transaction will behave the same way. The first trap is the superstore. You can buy nearly every grocery item at Walmart or Target, but the merchant sells much more than groceries. A card that excludes superstores can treat the entire checkout as an ordinary purchase, even when every item in the cart is food. Imagine you spend $500 per month on food, but $350 happens at a superstore. A grocery specialist may be competing for only the remaining $150. The headline rate is being applied to the wrong number. Your decision rule is simple. Measure eligible supermarket spending first, then compare cards. Never multiply a grocery rate by your entire food budget unless your posted transactions support it. The second trap is the warehouse club. Warehouse clubs are commonly excluded from supermarket categories. There can also be a payment network issue before rewards even enter the conversation. Costco currently says its U.S. warehouses accept all Visa cards, while Costco.com also accepts MasterCard. So a card can fail in 2 different ways. It may not receive the supermarket bonus, or the physical warehouse may not accept that card's network at all. This is where a simple fallback becomes valuable. A current flat rate example is the Wells Fargo Active Cash Visa, which advertises unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases with no annual fee. The point is not that this is the best warehouse club card for everyone. The point is that a Visa with a flat rate can fill the warehouse role without depending on a grocery category. Who should avoid that example? Anyone who already has a better eligible Visa for the same purchases, anyone who carries a balance, or anyone who would add a new account for a tiny theoretical gain. The role matters more than the product name. The third trap is the cap. A large multiplier can look unbeatable until you calculate what happens after the limit. Consider the Blue Cash Preferred from American Express. After the introductory first year, the current annual fee is $95. The current supermarket rate is 6% on up to $6,000 per year, then 1%. Those terms can change, so verify them before applying. Now use a household that spends $12,000 per year across food stores. $4,000 is at eligible U.S. supermarkets. $4,000 is at a superstore. $4,000 is at a warehouse club. Under those assumptions, the Blue Cash Preferred earns 6% on the $4,000 supermarket bucket, or $240. The other $8,000 earns 1%, or $80. That is $320 of gross cash back. Subtract the $95 annual fee after the introductory first year, and the result is $225 before considering any other benefits. Now compare the flat 2% example. 2% of $12,000 is $240 with no annual fee. In this specific example, the simpler card finishes $15 ahead. The 6% card did exactly what it promised. The household simply did not spend enough at merchants inside the 6% category. Change the supermarket bucket and the result changes. Naturally, use another benefit and the result can change again. But do not rescue weak grocery math with a credit or perk you would not otherwise use. Who should avoid the Blue Cash Preferred grocery strategy? Someone whose food spending is concentrated at warehouse clubs or superstores, someone whose eligible supermarket spending is too small to overcome the fee, or someone who values a one-card system more than a modest potential gain. Who may fit it? Someone with substantial, repeatable spending at merchants that actually qualify as U.S. supermarkets, who pays in full, understands the cap, and can justify the annual fee with conservative math. The fourth trap is delivery. An order can begin with a supermarket and still pass through a delivery platform, third-party wallet, or payment account. The posted merchant and transaction data may not match the in-store purchase you expected. Capital One, for example, warns that purchases through some third-party payment accounts or digital payment technology may not receive a higher reward, depending on how the transaction is processed. Do not guess. Place your normal order, wait for it to post, and check the reward detail. Treat a real transaction as evidence, not a universal promise. If the bonus is inconsistent, assign that service to your catch-all card until the pattern is clear. There is also a fifth trap: optimizing the store before optimizing the price. Suppose one supermarket qualifies for 6%, but the same basket costs $12 more than it does at a warehouse club. On a $200 basket, the difference between 6% and 2% is $8. Paying $12 more to earn $8 more leaves you $4 behind? Rewards should reduce the cost of shopping you already prefer. They should not convince you to overpay for the multiplier. Now turn all of this into a wallet rule. First, list each place where you bought food during the last 90 days. Second, total the posted spending by merchant, not by budget label. Third, separate supermarkets, superstores, warehouse clubs, and delivery transactions. Fourth, record the reward that actually posted and flag any inconsistency. Fifth, run the annual math after caps and fees. Compare the specialist with a realistic flat rate card you could actually use. Sixth, check acceptance. If a large share of your spending happens at a warehouse with a network restriction, the card has to work at the register before its rewards rate matters. Then choose one of three setups. Setup 1 is specialist plus fallback. Use the grocery specialist only at merchants that reliably qualify and use a flat rate card everywhere else. Setup 2 is one simple catch-all. This can win when spending is fragmented. The specialist's fee is hard to recover, or you do not want another cap to track. Setup 3 is warehouse first. If most of your food budget goes to a warehouse club, start with an accepted card that rewards those purchases, then decide whether the smaller supermarket bucket deserves a separate card. Rewards only make sense when you pay your statement balance in full and avoid interest. If your card provides a grace period, paying the full statement balance by the due date can help you avoid interest on purchases. This is educational content, not financial advice. Always verify current terms directly with the issuer before applying. The best grocery card is not the card with the biggest grocery number. It is the card whose eligible category matches the stores where your money actually goes. So open your statements, ignore the food labels in your head, and follow the posted transactions. Supermarket, superstore, warehouse club, delivery app, give each one a deliberate card job. If your grocery multiplier disappears at checkout, the answer is not a more exciting card. The answer is a more accurate map. Subscribe for the next lesson, where we build the pre-application checklist that should come before any new card. Keep every card in one clear system with CardsNest. Scan the QR code to download.